be done. There are two different ball games altogether. You really need a professional at the top to run IPL or the sport. They don't have that. If Sundar Raman is the CEO of IPL, have you ever heard him speak? Is he out there? Is he actually defending the situation? There is no spokesperson. That's what I actually meant. Now, Mr. Rajiv Shukla may be a great administrator, but does he really have the time to do this job as he's now? I mean, this is really in the hot seat. Second point that I want to make was the other gentleman just made a very valid point. If there are 50 sporting politicians, 49 are run by politicians. I mean, why? Get the right horses for the right causes, for God's sake. Let athletes run sports in this country and you'll see the change that will happen. And countries like Australia and South Africa are sporting nations by design, not by default. It adds to economy, it adds to reputation. Watch a movie called Invictus with Morgan Freeman. It's a true story of Nelson Mandela. He didn't go to parliament, he went to the rugby field to change South Africa's dynamics. So these are all reality things that are existing around us. I think we take shortcuts and we just enjoy the fact that it's all falling apart.
I can't ever see cricket getting politicians out. Ideally, politicians should be out of everything but politics, and even there, I doubt that they're doing a good job. So, but, you know, India without politicians, cricket without politicians, no chance.
Shaina NC, are you also trying to find a way into the BCCI somehow? You know, figuring out, you know, what can be done so that you find a way into the BCCI too. Do you think getting rid of politicians from the IPL and the BCCI is a
no,
solution?
I'm not in the race. Be pleasantly surprised. Be pleasantly surprised I'm not in the race.
So get the politicians out. Do you think that's a solution? Subramaniam Swamy agrees.
No, I think that clearly we need to have our systems in place. I don't think that's a solution, but I definitely think we need to have our rules in place. Take, for example, Shah Rukh's incident yesterday. How many of us know whether we're allowed to be on the pitch after the match is over as co-owners or as participants who have sponsored, etc.? Nobody knows any of the rules. Nobody knows the rules when it comes to match fixing because it's not out yet in terms of who is guilty, who is not, money laundering. So unless we implement legislation and we have our systems in place, whoever leads IPL has to have that kind of political conviction or political will, irrespective of whether he's a politician or a sports person. I think cleaning up the game and having good entertainment would be welcome. To just have sleaze and rut and prostitution and all this.
Rohan, you know, is cricket being held hostage by politics? Because everything here is political. Kirti Azad is saying what he is, and everybody knows the fact that Kirti Azad hates Arun Jaitley, and therefore he's saying what he is because he's got an axe to grind over there. You've got Vilasrao Deshmukh taking on Rajiv Shukla. You've got Mamta Banerjee jumping in. So at the end of the day, it's all about politics.
Well, I think first of all,
but politics has certainly taken over the sport because you've got you've got politicians running the game. So I mean, it's bound to have an effect on the sport.
And this is the result, like the country.
But look, you know, I just want to make a couple of points, Rahul.
Go on, Rohan.
One of them being one of them is about Shah Rukh's ban. And you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, BCCI said, like, look, they need to come to us and maybe we'll ratify it. If they don't ratify it, it's a win-win situation for all, because the Mumbai Cricket Association will not come out looking like lambs. They'll come out looking like lions because they took the step of banning Shah Rukh Khan for 5 years, though the BCCI overruled it. So, you know, everyone's happy. In case the ban does stand, Rahul, for the life of me, I can't understand what is the big deal. Shah Rukh Khan, how many times has he gone to the Wankhede Stadium in this last 30-40 years? Maybe twice, thrice when the Knight Riders are playing. He wasn't even there a couple of days ago when his team was playing. So how is it going to affect his life in any way? It's going to make no difference to Shah Rukh Khan whether you ban him for 5 years or 50 years.
Okay, you know, we're hearing that the girl who allegedly got molested by Luke Pommersbach is saying she will sue Siddharth Mallya for the comments that he's made. We're also hearing politicians say, shut down the IPL. So now, before I end this debate, I want to hear from all our guests on what the solutions are. You know, are there any solutions, Dr. Subramaniam Swamy? Because shutting it down, is that the only solution you can think of?
I'm not saying shutting it down. You are overstretching it.
You said it.
Well, I certainly think that you should shut it down right away. And I said in my statement that you can remove the ban once the politicians and the cinema people are taken out of it. And this is run by professionals. And I think it's very unfair for you to attack Mr. Kirti Azad.
I didn't attack him. I stated a fact.
You said it is because he hates
I didn't say it. I'm saying there's an angle over there, internal party angle.
But there is no internal party angle at all. Jaitley can look after himself, and his saying that politicians go out means a lot of politicians will go out. In fact, more Congress people will go out, like Sharad Pawar and Rajiv Shukla than BJP people. So I think it's not fair to ascribe motives to a very good suggestion. I think politicians don't belong here, and they should be doing other things for their constituency.
I think there are two issues here. One is a business of national culture, which is actors behaving the way they should, women behaving the way they should, all of that. And there's a second, which is managing sports. Get politics out of sports, let sportsmen dominate it. That's the only thing, and let there be great business opportunities, because this country definitely needs more by way of sports and not less.
Shailendra Singh, is there a solution?
This is a big, yes, Rahul, there is a very, very serious solution. This is a big business, this is a big sport. This is pride of India. The world watches cricket coming out of India, and we bring in 90% of global cricketing revenue. Having said that, this particular sport needs to be professionalized. You need proper governance and accountability, and you need to put this in public domain. This no more can be like a private Raj run. It is not working. I mean, let's just be factual about it. And I don't think the entire nation really wants to lose cricket or IPL. We all want it. We want it clean, and we want it with proper governance.
Rohan Gavaskar, it can't be a private cabal.
And Rahul, another small point, Rahul.
Yes.
Rahul, the rules are a bit inconsistent. If you saw Delhi Daredevils match last night, the same thing of Shah Rukh's kids was happening with the owner's kids. He had a massive couch right on the boundary line, and his children were waving flags. They were on the ropes, and the camera was actually featuring the kids having a great time. Now that's a very thin line. Just an incident 24 hours ago with Shah Rukh's kids, and the owners of Delhi Daredevils' kids were right on the ropes having a blast.
You know,
so I mean, let's
it's
get
the
consistent
IPL. There are no rules. Everything goes. Rohan Gavaskar, you know, is it doing more damage than good to Indian cricket, to the world of cricket? Is everybody getting corrupted? Is cricket getting corrupted?
You know, whatever's whatever's going. You know, when we talk about the 5 guys who were caught on camera admitting to spot fixing, they were saying one of them admitted to spot fixing in domestic cricket, not the IPL. So are you going to ban domestic cricket? I remember an incident in the late 90s where Ricky Ponting allegedly behaved very badly with a lady in a nightclub in Calcutta. That was an international match between India and Australia. For that, are you going to ban international cricket? These things happen outside the IPL as well. So look, you know, you can't do anything about it. The only thing, like Shailendra said, is you've got to have strict governance. If someone's found guilty of being involved in nefarious activities, you've got to give them the harshest punishment and make sure they, as individuals, never play in the IPL again. But you can't ban the IPL.
Nobody said that just because of this one incident the thing should be banned. This, I said, is a tipping point. There are so many dimensions to it. If I said all that I knew, I don't think this will be, I can say it on this TV. So therefore a sharp look is necessary, and I certainly think it's not possible with politicians and cinema stars.
Shobha, there is a lot of pressure on Shah Rukh Khan from the BCCI to say sorry, to make up with the MCA so that life can go on, that some sort of a rapprochement should be found. Lots of people also saying that Shah Rukh is having an emotional meltdown. He's suffering from a midlife crisis.
No, Rahul, I'm not Shah Rukh's psychotherapist or psychiatrist. I don't know about his meltdown, but certainly I think had he shown a slightly more humble attitude and admitted to some extent that despite a great provocation, he regretted what he had said, it might have sorted out this issue much earlier. But as to the question about the IPL, I think there's been an upside and a downside to the whole format of the IPL. The upside is that it did throw up a lot of young talent and gave opportunities to a lot of young cricketers. That was the very, very good side about the IPL. The downside is the money and the corruption, and that's a cocktail that's extremely heady and very hard for most people to down and still stay sober. So if at all we need checks and balances in place, you can't ban something like that. It's too late. And as for Shah Rukh Khan, I think a visit to his nearest shrink may not be such a bad plan.
You're asking him to visit a shrink?
One word on the Maharashtra police. They have taken an action. We really don't know the full facts of what really happened. I don't know whether Shah Rukh Khan was subject to a medical test, because we want to know what state he was in. I know just because he's a great actor is not enough. There are many of the great actors.
He wasn't. He was not.
Okay, Shaina?
He wasn't.
Shaina, this pressure on Shah Rukh to say sorry, to make up with the MCA so that life can go on. You know, people can go back, get their beer, watch the IPL, sit back and just diffuse this crisis. Should he say sorry? Will he say sorry?
Well, like Shobhade said, I'm not his spokesperson either. But my personal opinion is it shows grace, because when somebody is big and says something like this, it just makes him that much bigger. But having said that, I'd like to answer what Mr. Swami said. The fact of the matter is he was not under the influence of alcohol, and if he was, the Mumbai police did not even bother to check him on a breathalyzer or any of that. This was not a spat under the influence of anger. This was a father who was just protecting his child, and which got slightly out of hand. Of course, it shouldn't have happened. As far as the IPL, no match fixing, no money laundering, no sleaze, no prostitution, just cricket, cricket, cricket with healthy entertainment, good governance and a professional team to run.
Shailendra Singh, before I conclude, do you think Shah Rukh should say sorry? Because the BCCI is trying to find a solution, and that solution, they're saying, if Shah Rukh says sorry, the MCA said, okay, then we'll consider forgiving him.
The good news, Rahul, is that I think you to say that.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Shailendra. Just a moment, I want to get Rohan to answer that question first.
Sorry, Rahul, I couldn't hear you.
Should Shah Rukh say sorry? There's a lot of pressure on him to say sorry. Should he just say, okay, I'm sorry this happened, let life go on as normal? Can it go on as normal?
Well, look, like Shaina said, it would be a big gesture from him to say sorry. But sometimes you've got to think, you know, if you feel you're the aggrieved party, and if you feel you haven't done anything wrong, why should you apologize? That's the way I look at it. I mean, if I haven't done anything wrong, if I feel I'm the aggrieved party, should I be the bigger man and say sorry? Yes, I would. But sometimes when you're angry, your kids are, if you think your kids have been mishandled, manhandled, then look, I don't think I would say sorry.
Because Shailendra, he's feeling aggrieved at this time. He says, why should I say sorry? The MCA should say sorry to me. Do you think a solution can be found if he says sorry? Because the MCA has already banned him for 5 years, so they've done what they had to.
No, there's a court case. Let's see what happens in that court case.
Dr. Swami likes to take everybody to court. That's his solution.
No, there is a court case. There's a police FIR registered, and it's a cognizable offence. And I think, you know, it's a question of a trial which has to take place.
Shailendra.
Yeah, I think Rahul, like I said to you before, there's going to be soon another breaking news, which is BCCI, MCA and Shah Rukh Khan will 100% hug and make up very soon. This is what my understanding of the sport and the pressure is. But having said that, I think an important issue, Rahul, to be made here is that Shah Rukh Khan, irrespective of what the circumstances were, I mean, I'm actually defending Shah Rukh in this case, but the way Shah Rukh has reacted and being the icon that he is, the abusive language that he used, I think for that particular reason, Shah Rukh needs to do another press conference where he does need to apologize to the nation, because he's heard in his voice using language that nobody ever expected out of Shah Rukh. So that maybe he needs to do, maybe play a bit of a humble card for his fans.
Kiss and make up. Shobhade, do you think that will happen, or do you think he's too aggrieved? You know, there's too much passion, there's too much anger. He's not prepared to back down.
Rahul, I think Shah Rukh has read Eric Segal, and love clearly means never having to say I'm sorry, because he said so in as many words. He went on the offensive instead of going on the defensive. He said they owe him an apology, and he thought nothing of using such just the worst language in the world in the front of children. The very children, he says, he was out there to protect, and he was very upset that they were being manhandled. But what about upsetting the whole country with use of abusive, very, very colorful and very strong abusive language? Is that acceptable? And do his children find that acceptable? That's the question he needs to ask himself.
He will apologize, because he's got a court case otherwise going.
Let's get a happy ending.
There must be a happy ending, and maybe an opportunity to bring everybody back on the discussion table once again. To all my guests for joining me on what's been a very, very surreal day. You know, the IPL turning out to be like the WWF. There's molestation, there's spot fixing, there are slaps, fisticuffs. It's all happening right here, and we'll keep getting you all the ringside action right here on Headlines Today. For joining me, thank you very much. News and updates continue on the other side of a very quick break. We're back in a moment. Stay with us.